Speaking of 10, Jarom.
Oh, nice.
It's the latest 10 and 10, the top 10 defenses BYU football will face in 2021. Presented by Bodyguards, protection for a life worth living. Learn more at bodyguards.com. Educate the people, Jarom.
But first,
10 lists in 10 weeks. It's Jarom's 10 and 10.
Okay, top 10 defenses not mentioned Idaho State and South Florida. Don't at me. Utah State is number 10. New coordinator Ephraim Banda switching to a 4-3, 9 returning starters that allowed 485 yards, 34 points a game last year. It was bad. 16 sacks was nice, but only 2 picks. 11th worst defense by yardage. 4 all-league players look to right the ship. Justin Rice, all Sun Belt linebacker, formerly at San Jose State, then Arkansas State last year for a year. Transfer in to help boost the unit.
Okay, I just can't believe South Florida's worse than Utah State after what you presented. Yikes.
Oh, yeah, they're bad. Number 9. Washington State. Analyzing Wazoo's great defense might be like discussing Utah's Pac-12 titles. It doesn't exist. 10 returning starters. Gave up 38 a game last year. Jake Dickert ran the old 4-2-5. It didn't work well. Gave up 10-plus yards on 29% of plays, second worst in the country. But there's some all-conference talent at all 3 levels.
Suddenly I'm feeling really good about BYU's chances in Pullman.
You got to outscore them. Number 8. Arizona. New defensive coordinator Don Brown comes from Michigan, where the Wolverines were a perennial top 25 defense. In fact, in 2016, we're number 2 in the country. He's nicknamed Dr. Blitz. If only he had Michigan players to work with. 9 returning starters from a team that gave up almost 40 a game last year.
Yikes. Yeah. If he had Michigan players, BYU would probably be in trouble. Just rewinding
they
to 2015.
were in 2015.
Woo!
BYU crossed the 50 once. That was cool. Number 7, Baylor. Dave Aranda is the defensive head coach. Baylor, not known for its defense, though, has 10 starters back from a team that had 16 takeaways last year, gave up 7.1 yards per attempt passing, top 50 nationally. Terrell Bernard and Jalen Pitre will be good players on that side of the ball. Will Jeff Grimes' offense eliminate the need for Baylor's defense to need to be good?
They need to have a quarterback to outscore BYU, and we just learned that they've got a little quarterback debate going on.
You didn't just learn that. I did a 10 and 10 quarterback.
That's true, you did.
Number 6.
Wait, I was off that show. I'm sorry I didn't watch it.
Oh, that's true. Okay, you're forgiven. All's forgiven. Number 6, Virginia. Nick Howell and Kelly Papinga lead this group. 6 returning starters, gave up 30 a game. Red zone defense was pretty good at 79%. Bottom 30 in total defense, however. Perhaps those 5 new starters will help with that. Where's a Brandon Ogletree and a Lonnie Fua when you need one? Nick Jackson had 105 tackles in 10 games last year.
Virginia's always going to have a disciplined, hard-nosed defense. That's what Bronco Mendenhall does.
Yes. They are not quite the defenses that BYU was here. Number 5, Boise State. New head coach Andy Avalos was the defensive coordinator at Oregon before taking over as head coach in Boise. So you know that side of the ball will be solid. Ezekiel Noah and Riley Wimpy are studs at linebacker. Broncos gave up 30-plus in 4 of 7 games, including 51 to BYU, although BYU was a top 10 offense. 5.3 yards per play allowed was 30th in FBS in 2020.
Listen, I'm not that worried because Boise State hasn't beaten a BYU team in Provo when the Cougars have finished with a winning record. So congratulations, Boise.
You discovered that yesterday.
You've beaten Boise in Provo, or you beaten BYU in Provo when the teams went 4-8 and 4-9.
We don't think BYU's doing that. Number 4, Georgia Southern. Scott Sloan has 8 dudes back from a team that gave up 33 a game, only 326 yards because triple option on offense. 14th in total defense, number 1 in interceptions with 18. Derek Canteen had 6 himself with 10 PBUs. They shaved a full yard off the 2019 average of yards per play. 4th best improvement in the country. So limited offensive opportunities, but they take the ball away.
Yeah, this is the shocker for me. Georgia Southern at number 4. How much of their defense is set up by ball control from the offense?
Yes. Yet, again, 18 picks was excellent.
It's impressive.
Number 3, Arizona State. Former NFL player Antonio Pierce calls the shots for a group that had 13 takeaways and 9 sacks in 4 games. That was crazy. 34 takeaways in the past 11 games. That's highest in FBS over that span. Quarterback Chase Lucas, defensive end Tyler Johnson are the studs.
Incredibly, Arizona State has 1 Rose Bowl win in the last 50 years.
Yes, 34 takeaways in 11 games. Incredible.
I know.
Number 2, USC. Todd Orlando, former Utah State DC, is the guy. Vic Soto coaches the D-line, former Cougar defensive lineman, tight end. 26 points allowed in 8 games, 370 yards a game last year. Good numbers. Drake Jackson is the real deal on the line. 3.2 yards per carry allowed as a defense, 2.5 sacks a game.
Jeremy, I was really hoping that USC would show up number 1 on this list.
And the number 1 defense BYU will face in 2021 is Utah. Morgan Scalley has this group rocking and rolling. Bill Riley, the voice of the youth, told us coaches think linebacker Devin Lloyd might be the best in program history.
Wow.
9 returning starters from a team that gave up 26 a game. in 5 games. Utah's defense is always amazing.
That's what they do.
It just is.
So does BYU need a game manager quarterback to start and not turn the ball over against that defense to give themselves the best chance to win that game?
So Baylor?
Insert Baylor Romney. Doesn't turn the ball over.
Well, we don't know that Jaron turns the ball over.
It's true.
We don't know
Unfortunately, he hasn't really stayed in the game long enough for us to figure that out.
Yes. Let's have Jaron Hall start a bunch of games. That'd be awesome.
All right.